Good morning, students. So we already completed, discussed Java tokens. So and completed a few of them like reserved words, keywords, identifiers, rules for identifiers, and next we have to complete literals. To understand what is a literal, so we completed the variable also, how to declare and how to initialize. Okay, rules for scope of variables, three types of scopes: local, instance, static, or class. Okay, so we explain it with an example, right? So after that, Java literals. So Java literal is simply, we can call it as a value. Okay, so a constant value, so that is given to a variable. So if you observe the example, int num equal to 200. Int is a data type. We know data type means it defines the type of a data. So what is a num is actually variable. This num variable is a int type, and the value given to this num is nothing but int type. So that is about a data type. This num is nothing but a variable which holds the value, this 200, and it is nothing but name of the memory location. And after that, this num there is a specific rules define the variable name also, that we all discussed. Okay, after that, what about 200? 200 can actually a value, but it can also be called as a literal. Okay, so data type, variable, and literal. Okay, so there are so many types of literals in the Java. So based on the data type. Okay, so data type decides what kind of a data to be stored in the variable num. Okay, so many data types are available, right? Int, floated, like that. Okay, so based on the data type, literals are also classified. So integral literals, floating point literals, char, string, boolean. So these are the different types of literals. So when it comes to the integral literals, so integral literals are nothing but values to the integral data types. Okay, so in integral data type we have four types of data types, right? Okay, four subparts. Okay, byte, short, int, long. So what kind of values we have to give for the integral data type, we will discuss here. So decimal, in the integral data type we have a four kind of literals available. So decimal literals, octal literals, hexadecimal literals, and binary literals. I think all of you know about this, but a simple discussion here. So decimal literals means the values of the literal value should be in between 0 to 9. Okay, so only allowed digits for the decimal literal value is nothing but 0 to 9. Okay, like that. Int data type, x is a variable, 908 is nothing but a literal, and it is a integer literal. Okay, so you can give a decimal literal value to the integer data type variable. Okay, and after that, octal literal is nothing but a base 8. So the allowed digits here 0 to 7 only, 0 to 7. So means so, and always this octal literal prefixed with 0. Okay, so that's why 0 is prefixed here. So it represents octal literal, and the value is nothing but 146. So only 0 to 7 digits only allowed here. Okay, and the next one, hexadecimal literals. Hexadecimal literals, it allows 0 to 9 digits as well as characters A to F. After 9 we can use A to F characters. Okay, so both uppercase and lowercase allowed here. Okay, but here in the octal we prefixed with 0. In the same way, in the hexadecimal we prefixed with a 0x. It may be, x may be small or capital, that is not a problem here. Okay, so this is the value for the integer variable x, and the value of literal is nothing but 0x123 FACA. Okay, which means so we are presenting hexadecimal value to this integer variable. Okay, in the same way, the last literal is nothing but a binary literal that is given to a integer. So integer data type, it may be a byte, short, int, long. So I just took a integer here, but that is not a issue. You can also place a byte, short, long also here, but I am discussing about a value. What kind of a value you can give? You can give binary literal, octal literal, hexadecimal literal, or binary literal as a value. Okay, so integer type data type variable consisting all these four kinds of literal values. Okay, so binary means only allowed digits are 0 and 1. Okay, but here here to represent 0 and 1. Okay, why? Because decimal also allowed 0 to 9, right? So 0 and 1 from the binary is also part of decimal. So to differentiate, we can use 0b. B stands for binary. So we can prefix with 0b, capital or a small, there is no issue. So int is a data type, x is a variable, and the value literal is nothing but 0b, 4 ones here. Okay, so that means it is a binary literal. It is the decimal literal. It is a octagonal, 0 prefix, 0x prefix, hexadecimal literal. Okay, so based on the data type, we have a different types of literals. For integer data type, integral data type, so byte, short, int, long. So for these kind of data types, we can give these four kinds of literal values: decimal, octal, hexadecimal, and binary. Okay, the next one is floating point literal. So in the floating point data type, we have two types, right? One is a float, and the second one is the decimal. Okay, float and decimal. Double, actually, float and double. So in the floating point data type, so only we can specify in the decimal format only. Okay, so decimal for integral we can specify decimal, octal, hexa, binary, but when it comes to the floating, we can only specify decimal literal only. So that is nothing but a base 10, and allowed digits are 0 to 9. Okay, but here we have a fraction part here. So double D, you can take a float also, float F also. So 1 2 3 dot 4 5 6. That means the number, the range of values to be allowed 0 to 9. Okay, so only decimal literal, so we can provide for the floating point literal. That means no octal, hexadecimal, or binary literals are not possible for the floating point literals. Okay, I hope you understand. Next, char literal. Okay, for char data type, we can specify literal in 4 ways. Okay, here again we have 4 different ways to specify char literal. That means a value to the char data type. So char is single quote. So within the single quote, a single character you can define as a char literal. Okay, in the same way, so char literal as a integral literal. So that means it allows decimal, octal, hexadecimal, like that. Okay, so here 0 means octal. So why? Because 0662 is prefixed with a 0. That means octal literal. So octal literal, right? So integer, whatever the literals are applicable for the integral data type, so that can be, we can apply to the char also. Okay, so we can specify char literal as an integral literal, which represents a Unicode value of the character, and that integral literals can be specified either in decimal, octal, hexadecimal forms, but the range in between only 0 to 65535. Okay, the character range of values between 0 to 65535 only. In between these only you can specify any decimal, octal, hexadecimal. Non-binary is there here. Okay, so within the single quote, a single character is act as a literal to the char data type. In the same way, it may be decimal, octal, hexadecimal form of integral data also act as a literal to the character data type. Okay, and after that, Unicode representation. We already discussed about the Unicode representation. Unicode system is used in Java to represent the any character in any language in the world. Okay, so that's why char in Java takes 2 bytes. that means 16 bits actually. Okay, so we can specify Unicode as a literal to the character data type. Char is a data type, ch is a variable name, equal to we are assigning a value, that is nothing but it is a literal. Okay, so we can assign Unicode representation as a literal to the character data type. Okay, so the representation is nothing but like this, backward slash u, backward slash u and 4x means backwards slash u is nothing but it is nothing but a Unicode representation. It mean, okay, 4x are nothing but hexadecimal values here. Okay, you can use any 4 hexadecimal values. Okay, so one example is for backward slash u 0061. Okay, so backward slash u is nothing but a Unicode representation. What about 0061? 0061 is actually hexadecimal. Okay, so you may have a doubt that any hexadecimal value is actually prefixed with a 0x. It may be capital or a small, right? Okay, so here, so 0061 is actually nothing but a small character a, and it can also be represented with 0x0061. Means we directly present 0061 as a hexadecimal value. We already know that 4x is nothing but hexadecimal. Okay, so we don't need to specify 0x as a prefix. That is the thing. Okay, so backward slash u 0061 is the same as backward slash u 0x00x1, where u 0x is nothing but a hexadecimal representation, or you can use directly u plus 0061. U is nothing but a Unicode presentation like backward slash u. Okay, so it is same as a in small letters, and in the binary format we have a 11000001. In the same way decimal it is a 97 actually. So the value is like 97 in decimal, this value in binary, a in character. Okay, so you can also use a Unicode representation for the character literal. Okay, and then last one, escape sequences. I think all of you know about escape sequences like slash n, slash t, slash n for new line, slash t for tab, slash b for beep. Okay, so like that you have a and two slashes for single slash and a slash single quote for single quote slash double quote for, okay, all nothing but escape sequence. I think I don't specify here the list. Okay, okay. So escape character also you can specify as a literal to the character data type. Okay, so I think you understand. So char literal is nothing but a value given to a char data type variable. Okay, so it may be a single quote literal, or maybe a integral literal. Integral means a decimal, octal, hexadecimal. Okay, and Unicode representation you can use as a literal, and escape sequence also you can place as a literal to the character data type. Okay, and the next token is a separator. So separator in Java is just a symbol, so that is used to group of a code from another group, that is simply nothing but separating. Okay, so any part of a code can be separated with another part, that is simply called as a separated. So the most commonly used separator is nothing but semicolon. Semicolon, you already well know about semicolon in programming language, how it is useful. It is used to terminate the statement. Okay, in every programming language, like maybe you know already about C, and now you are trying to understand Java, Python and all. Okay, so semicolon is used to terminate the statement. So some more, along with a semicolon we have some other separators also, so like this. Okay, so parentheses, braces, brackets, semicolon, comma, period, colon. Okay, so parentheses, is nothing but used to provide a list of parameters, okay, in the method definition and in invocation. Okay, so precedence of expressions. Okay, control statements. For example, in for, if, while. So all wherever you want to use separate the code, so then you can use like so for example, if you take a method, method name, data return type, method name, parameters list, that is the syntax, right? Okay, so where to separate the name of the method as well as the parameters list, you can use the parentheses, right? Okay, in the same way, braces, so in Java we already know the example, right? Okay, here, so braces, so this is a class definition, and it is a method definition, and it's the statements. Okay, how we different them from method to class, we separate, this is braces. From statements to method, these are the braces. Okay, so like that we can separate them. Okay, so separator is simply nothing but a part of code can be divided in a differentiate with other part, that so brackets. So these are the array to declare array. Okay, so these are used, semicolon to terminate the statement, comma for separating. So maybe parameters list they are separated with. Okay, so maybe variable name, so you can separate. Okay, so that period it is actually one of the operator, dot operator, where you can use separate package names from the sub packages. For example, already in the JSL, Java Standard Library, we already discussed Java dot language dot string. Okay, system dot out dot println. Okay, so to separate like packages from sub packages, classes from sub classes, or maybe classes from methods. Okay, so I mean to separating as well as to accessing, we can use a period. Okay, so colons it is used to it is used to when constructor reference. Okay, it is actually added by JDK, Java Development Kit 8. So basically maximum we won't use it, but it is actually in C++. If you want, you can use it. Okay, if it is a need. Okay, so these are the different separators in Java. So along with so many other, but most commonly used are these. And the next one is operator. So this is a very important as well as a known topic for you from the C language. Okay, in even in Python also you have operators, where whatever is the programming language, then you can use these. Okay, operator are nothing but so use it to perform some calculations. Okay, so operator is a nothing but a symbol, where operand is nothing but a variable. So for example, a plus b, a b are called as a operands, variables, whereas a plus is nothing but operator, arithmetic operator. Okay, so that means operators are applicable for operands or constants. For example, 2 plus 3, 2 and 3 are the nothing but a literals, constants. Okay, so operator is an expression which can be used to perform some calculations. Okay, operators are used among operand. Operand is nothing but a variable. Operand is differ with operator. Operator is an expression to perform calculations. Operand is a variable which stores the result of these operators. Okay, there are different types of operators in Java, like C. So first start with arithmetic operators. All are well known about this. So arithmetic operators: plus, minus, multiplication, division, remainder, plus, and minus. Okay, so these are actually unary operators. Okay, so that means we'll see. Okay, what is unary operators? I think you know well, but we'll see examples also. So arithmetic operators are used for addition, subtraction, and all. Okay, so what about a plus increment operator? It is a okay, increase integer value by 1, whereas what about minus, it is a decrement operator, decreases integer value by 1. Okay, so here one example we discuss. So every Java program should start with a class only, class keyword, name of the class. Okay, I think you remember the name of the class should match with the file name as well as the compiler name java c space file name dot java, right? And after that interpreter name java space file name. Okay, so there you have to mention the same name. Okay, so next, public static void my string or arguments. The name of the arguments you may change like this. Okay, okay. After that you declare variables int a comma b comma c, and a equal to 10, b equal to 2, c equal to a plus b. What we did, we declare three variables and initialize two variables with values and perform some arithmetic operation here that can be stored into the C, that is equal to C equal to, I mean assigning equal to is a actually called as the assignment operator. We are storing a plus b value into the C. Okay, so how to print like a printf in C, we have a system dot out dot println. It is a system is a class dot separator, out is a object to the system class, and by this object we can, and in the system class we have a println method. Okay, so we cannot use directly println, we have to specify system dot out dot println. Okay, so addition we are using plus c here. Okay, so plus what is about a plus here, it is a concatenation operator. So after addition, so we have to place the value of c, that's why we are using plus. So we know the we escape plus, and we print c also. There what is the problem also we see. Okay, so that is the thing, directly it prints c. Okay, so sometimes it give an error also. Okay, so that is the thing. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, so by initially we took 10 and 2, so with them only we perform till division, and later we assign a new value to b. Okay, so new value to b for the calculation of a remainder. Okay, if you divide 10 by 2 means we will get a 0 remainder, but when comes to the 3, so we will get 1 remainder, right? Okay, so that is the reason. So we change the value b. Okay, directly we are assigning. Okay, so you don't want to declare again. Okay, int b, we don't want to go for another variable int d. Okay, directly, so initially we declare int b, later we initialize the data 2, later now we declare a variable 3. Okay, so like that. Okay, so and here we did unary operators. So plus unary operator is nothing but actually operator basically of three types: unary operators, binary operators, ternary operators. Okay, if an operator works for a single variable operand, then that is called as a unary operator. Okay, if an operator works for two operands like this, a and b, two operands, those are called as a binary operator. If an operator works for three variables, I mean more than two operands, then that is called as a ternary operator. Here it is a binary operator and it is a unary operator. Why? Because it can be applicable to only a single variable. Okay, so that is about the thing. Okay, I will execute this. I will open a notepad here. Okay, I already have some programs, the same program somewhere. So the name of the file class actually changed as A1, so that's why I save as caps A1. Actually I have one more file A1, so that's why I can use A11.java. Okay, save. So I have to change here also A11. Okay, so the name of the class has to follow naming conventions. A should start with a capital letters, and it may consisting digits also. Okay, so better you can use a convenient name like arithmetic. Okay, arithmetic operations. Okay, so I can save as ARI operations. Okay, for the future purpose, and operations dot java. Save and go for command prompt here. Okay, so java c, and after that we have to use ARI OPE automatic operations dot java, right? Okay, okay, and after that java, so automatic operations. Okay, okay, so if you see here, so 10 12 10 2. Okay, addition it be 12, subtraction it will be 8, right? So multiplication 20, division 5, reminder for reminder we change the b value, right? So that we will get a like a 1. And incrementer operator means so where we can plus a. Okay, so plus a is nothing but increment the integer value by 1. So already 10, increment by 1, that is about 11. And after that, when you see the decrement operator, so we have a 10. Okay, so why? Because it's already here the value of a is 10, directly it takes from here to here. Okay, it already 10, so we increment the value and it is actually stored in a. Okay, that means it now the value of a is not 10, it is actually 11. Okay, whenever we perform the decrementer operator in a, so that means we are performing decrementer operator in 11. Okay, so when it decreases, the value will again become 10 only. Okay, so that is the output here. Okay, so that is about increment and decrement operators, arithmetic operators. So later on, relational operators. So relational operators are used to for comparison. So relational operators are used to perform comparisons between operands or values. Okay, so whether two values are equal or not. So equal to, so equality between two values, not equality, greater than, less than. So for example, 2 is less than 3. Okay, so the value written by the operator are nothing but a boolean data, that means a true or false. Okay, so this is an example. So relational operators. Okay, I will send the PPT. You can practice these programs. I don't want to go for execution of every program. Why? Because it's already executed things. Okay. Relational operators. So equal, not equal. So give an answer for the a equal to, actually it is actually 40, right? And b 30, a equal to b. What is the output of this one? So 40 equal to 30, true or false? False, actually. Okay, so the output of this statement is actually false. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so I will execute this program. Oh, I don't have this program, I think. of course this name is convenient, apt for the program, but so typing the lengthy name is also difficult, so that's why I change simply. Okay, relational OP. So file how to save as relational OP. Okay, so dot Java, enter, and I can go for a command prompt. There I can type Java C relational. I don't know whether it works or not. I will see OPE operations dot Java. Okay, it's good. Java relational OPE. Yes, it returns false, right? Okay, so why? Because the value of a is 40, b is 30, a equal to b. Okay, always it's a false, right? So that's why it returns a false value. Okay, so not equal means it returns true only. Okay, so that is about relational operators. So logical operators. So we have three logical operators. So these are also used to check the conditions, expressions. Okay, logical and logical or and a logical not. A logical means a 2 ampersand. Logical or means a pipe symbol. In the keyword we have a enter button. Keyword button is there. Okay, of after the braces array brackets, so we have a backslash above the in the same keystroke only we have a pipe symbol. Okay, some like a L, small L type symbol. So whenever you press a shift that symbol, it will give a pipe symbol. Two pipe symbols we are using here. Okay, so what about a logical and? It returns true if all expressions means more than it is nothing but in between conditions it will use. So for example like this, a and b. Okay, so if a is a condition and b is a condition, in between it will give only true whenever all expression a and b both are true, then it will give a return true. If a or b means logical or b means it will give true if any of expression, either a or b, if any of expression true, it will give a true. So obviously not logical not is nothing but it returns a complement of expression. Okay, so this is an example. So class we have to start and public static void main. So this is the template we will follow actually from the previous sessions. Okay, so where we can directly, not we are not giving any values here, directly we are taking a boolean variables like true and false as a literals, boolean literals. Okay, I think I didn't discuss boolean. We end with a char, right? Let me check. Okay, we end with the char. So string literals, boolean literals. Okay, for a boolean literals we have only two values. One is true, second one is a false. String literals it is nothing but any text in between double quote can be any length of a string in double quote that is about a string literal. I think I missed those two. Okay, so that's okay. Okay, so for string, actually string in Java is actually class. It is not at like a data type, like int, float, double. It is not a data type alone. It is a class. Okay, so we will discuss many things about a string later. Okay, we will complete operators now. Okay, relational operators, example, logical operators, and or not, example. Okay, directly we took true and false. So this is the thing. Okay, bitwise operators. So it is actually perform operations on bits. Okay, first we will convert. If you give any data, it will first convert into the bits, then it will work on bits only. Okay, so bitwise and bitwise or and bitwise exclusive or left shift, right shift are the operators available under bitwise operators. So perform operations bit by bit. Okay, not on like decimal part thing. Okay, so okay, so what is the value of and or XOR is different. Okay, so the value of A and B will be always 1 if A and B both having the values 1. Okay, 1 is for true. Okay, whenever A and B both are true, we will get a true value here. Okay, so whenever both having false value zeros, then A or B will get 0 here. Okay, so here in the remaining all cases it will give 0. Whenever both are true, it will give true. All other cases, it will give false. Whenever both are false, it will give false. In all other cases, it will give true. Okay. So when comes to the XOR, okay. So XOR is a different operation. Whenever both have zeros, it will give 0. Whenever both have ones, it will give 0. In other cases, it will give 1. Okay, so that is about XOR case. Okay, so shift operators are new here. Okay, so we have two shift of operators, left shift and right shift operators. Okay, so this is the syntax. Left shift, B, both are operands. Actually A and B are both are operands, where A is the value we have to shift. Okay, whereas B is nothing but a number of positions we have to shift. Okay, so this is the syntax. Left operand specifies the value to be shifted. This is the value we have to shift, where B is the operand, mean right operand. So it specifies the number of positions to be shifted. Okay, so if it is a left shift, means we have to shift the positions by left. If it is a right shift, means we have to shift the positions by left. Okay, right. So this is an example. A value is defined as binary format, 3 zeros, 1, 3 zeros. Okay, so the value of B we took as a 2, right? Okay, so here A left shift B. What it mean? We have to shift the A value by 2 positions. Okay, if you observe, so you can shift this value by 2 positions left. Okay, so 0 will come here, 0 will come here, 0 will come here, 1 will come here. Okay, so like that we are shifting. Okay, so you can shift entire A value by 2 positions to the left, then you will get like this. Okay, so if all it is 0, so you cannot able to understand. Here we have 1, right? Okay, if you observe the A value here and here, okay, the value of 1 shift by left 2 positions, right? So it is actually in the 4th position, but here it is in the second position from the left. Okay, in the same way, so if you applied instead of left shift, if you have applied right shift, there you have A right shift B. Okay, for A value we are using right shift. So here is the middle one can be shifted to here. Why? Because it is actually shifting 2 positions right. Okay, so shift operators actually it is a bitwise operator. It work on only bit format. Okay, shift operators are used to shift left or right. Okay, based on the value specified by the programmer. Okay, if it is a 3 positions left shift right shift, if it is a 4 positions left shift right shift. Okay, so that is about shift operators. So we perform an example also. you will execute and no. And the next one, assignment operators. Equal to is an assignment operator, okay, which assigns a value to a variable, okay. And here we can combine the remaining operators, what we discussed in arithmetic operators, logical operators, like any operators. Operators also we can are used as a combination with assign operators. That's why they are called as a compound assignment operators, okay. uh, okay, arithmetic operators we use here. So assignment operators, this is a compound assignment with the addition, okay. Addition, this is about subtraction, multiplication, and division, modulus, remainder, okay. So A equal to means A equal to B comparison, okay. As I mean or else A equal to B means comparison, but A equal to B means we are assigning B value to A here, okay. So we can assign a value literal directly, or you can assign a variable, so that is also possible. Now A plus equal to B, what it mean? A equal to A plus B, okay. So if you find anywhere A equal to A plus B, that means the left op variable and the right variable of any equal sign, then you can simply write it down like this, okay. A plus equal to B, okay. The condition is for equal to sign, left and right variables are same, then you can rewritten like this, okay. So A plus equal to B means A equal to A plus B, okay. So A minus equal to B means A equal to A minus B. So these nothing but a compound assignment operators, okay. So assignment operator simply equal to, that means we use it to assign. So left hand side it may be operand or maybe value can be assigned to right hand side operand, okay. So compound assignment is also possible. Example is given. And next one, conditional operator. Conditional operator is also called as a ternary operator. So unary operator, an operator works for a single variable. Binary operator, an operator works for two operands or variables. And ternary operator means an operator works for three variables, okay. So it is also called as a ternary operator. So three operands it will work. So it is just a short alternative for if else statement, if condition executable statement, right? So like that this is the statement. If condition true, statement to be executed, else no condition, the statement to be executed, okay. So this is an alternative for if else statement. So for a boolean expression, it is used to evaluate boolean expressions, and it returns either true or false values, okay. So this is a syntax: expression 1 question mark, expression 2 colon, expression 3, okay. All you know in C language, okay. So expression 1, if it is a true now, it will send expression 2 as a result. If expression is a 1 is a false, it is actually condition false, it will return expression 3 as a result, okay. So here we have a separators, right, like a question mark and the next one colon, okay. From expression 1 to expression 2 we use a question mark, expression 2 to expression 3 we use colon, okay. So this is an example. A equal to 20 we initially took here, okay. So B equal to is nothing but assignment operator. So we are using ternary operator here. A equal to 1. Actually we have A equal to 20. A equal to means comparison. Here it is assignment, here we are using comparison. A equal to 1, is it? Already we know that A equal to 20, but we are comparing A equal to 1. So it is about false. So whenever if it is a true, the question of the expression after question mark will go to assign to B, but it is a false actually, then what will happen? The value of second the expression 3 will going to store into B, okay. Again we are comparing. So b equal to 20. Yes, the value of a is equal to 20 only. Now the first expression is going to store into b, okay, not the second one. Okay, so that is about conditional operators. Next, instance operator. Instance of operator, I think you may feel difficult to understand this. Instance of object is an instance of a class, right? So to represent that kind of thing, here we have the instance of then the name of the representation of operator also like this, instance of. Okay. So instance of is actually one of the keyword. We have 53 keywords in Java. So in that we have an instance of operator. So test whether the given reference belongs to a provide type or not. So for example, if you take a class and object, if you want to check a object is belongs to that particular class, so that can be possible with the instance operator. It is actually only operator and also part of a keyword. Okay, so class name that we know, public class, static void, main method we are defining. Okay, so string a. So string is actually a data type like int, boolean, float and all. String is also a class. Okay, so unlike other data types, we are using small letter initially, we are using capital. So why? Because as per naming conventions, a class name should start with a capital letter, right? So string is a class in Java. So a is nothing but a variable name. Whenever we can treat a string as a data type, it is a variable name. But here a string is a class, a is a object to it. Okay, so we are defining a value here. Okay, now what we define here, string is a class, we define a object, and equal to we are providing some literal. Okay, string literal here. This is an example for string literal. Okay, it is a class, it is an object, and it is a value to the string object. Okay, so two ways we are defining. So now we are actually trying to present instance of operator. Boolean variable we took, and b is and equal to, we are actually trying to exhibit this instance operator. A is instance of string. Okay, string is a class, a is an object to string class. What we are actually trying to do is, so we are checking whether a is instance, a is an object to the string, that we are actually checking. Okay, so if it is a true, it will give a return true value. If it is a false, it will give return false value. Okay, so system.out.println. Okay, I will execute this. INSOP, save as INSOP dot java. Okay, it will go with the command prompt. So java c INSOPE dot java. Yes, java INSOPE. Okay, true. So what is meant by true here? So a is an instance of a string. Yes. So before this line, what we created, string is a class and a is an object to string class. So that we are checking. Instance of operator is used to check whether an object belongs to a class or not. If it is belongs, it will give true. Okay, so we are printing b, right? It will actually give an answer like a true, right? So that is the thing. Okay, so we discuss all operators, I hope. So I think the list completed. Member access operator is there, right? Member selection or a dot operator. Okay. Okay, member selection or a dot operator. So it is used to access the members of a package or a class. Okay, so members of a class or a package. What is members means? A package. If you take a package, the package is nothing but a set of classes and interfaces. Those are nothing but members. If you take a class alone, what are the members of a class? For example, instance of underscore operator 1 is a class. What are the members of a class? So public static void main, it is a method. Okay, and boolean b is a variable. So members of this class is nothing but this method and the variables. Okay, so to access the members of a class or a package, we can use the member selection or a dot operator, dot. So for example, how you can access the members of a class means with the help of object only. So still now we didn't discuss what is an object and a method and all clearly. Okay, so to access in the object oriented principles, we discuss about object only the key to access the members of a class. So that's why to access the data members of a class, we use a object name dot data member name. Okay, so to access the methods of a class, we use object name dot method name. Okay, so this will discuss clearly while discussing object and member, but the thing is I am have to specify the dot to access a data member. For example, it may be a variable or maybe a method. We use a object name and data member name or method name. So but they are separated with a dot period, and it is also separator in Java also. Okay, separator also. Okay, so dot, it is a operator, it is a separator. Okay, so object name dot data member name. So that is nothing but member selection or a dot operator. Okay, so next class we will see the object creation and all. Where is the recorder? I hope you all understand about this. So